Shaq and Shannon Sharpe had some words after Shannon Sharpe basically said he reacted to Shaq saying Nikola Jokić didn't deserve an MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deserved the MVP. Now, is Jokić getting some hate for some former black players? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? None of them really complained about, you know, at least the ones I seen, none of them really complained about Joel Embiid crying to get his MVP last year. That's what it was. It was a cry campaign to get his MVP. And it was like, and some people out, he just cried to get it. Even if he deserved it, you just naturally allow it to happen. And I say, yeah, and I like to call a spade. You know, I call out the black inconsistencies, and I call out this one. I feel like, you know, a lot of people didn't want to give him his just due. And that's fine. You know, Shaq being as dominant player as he was, Hakeem as dominant as he was. I mean, I think Melon got one. I think Barkley got one. Kobe only got one. I think Dwayne Wade should have won it the year they won the finals, even though they cheated for them in the finals. But I feel like Dwayne Wade probably was the best player in the league that year. And yeah, I feel like Kobe should have won it more than once. I feel like Shaq should have won it more than definitely. Some of the Shaq numbers, what Shaq did in his first, you know, year in Orlando, you know, turning that franchise around, he probably should have got MVP votes for what he did in Orlando. Just to keep it funky, they went from the worst team in the league to damn near, they just missed the playoffs. He turned that franchise around instantly. You know? So, yeah, I feel him. You know, he should have, you know, done more. And Shannon basically said when he told Nikola Jokić to his face on TNT that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should have won it. I felt that Shai should have won it. It is what it is. This is what I don't like. I respect him saying it to his face. But if that's how you're going to announce the award, allow that man to enjoy that moment. I don't think he should have said that. You know, keep that shit to yourself. I respect it, but keep that to yourself, man. Allow that man to enjoy his third MVP in what, 4 years? Allow him to enjoy that. That's how I just feel. That's his moment. Why would you shit on his moment? He was wrong for that, in my opinion. Now, if y'all link up off camera and you say, well, you shouldn't have did it, you shouldn't have got it, in my opinion, cool. And Shaq comes off as a jealous person. He's admitted. He's a jealous person. He knows that. And Shannon Sharpe's called him out. He said he felt like Shaq was jealous. Is why he did it. That he, you know, he was the most dominant guy in the league and only won one MVP. And a lot of people will say that's an accurate depiction. Now, if you Shaq, you probably like, oh, maybe it really came from a place you thought SGA should have got it. And if it was coming from an honest place where you really thought SGA could have got it honestly and without thinking about being jealous, then, of course, you offended. You were offended. But I just feel like, you know, his response to Shannon Sharpe, and I feel like a lot of people felt that Shannon Sharpe, they agreed with Shannon Sharpe. Not saying this right or wrong because it's an opinion. Right? But, you know, Shaq coming back, well, I'm better than you, and I know what you did to get in your position. Man, we know what all y'all motherfuckers did. Let's keep it real. We know what a lot of people did to get in their position, dude. I mean, and I respect what Shaq do. He helped a lot of families out when he don't even have to. Right? So I respect that. But let's not act like you ain't go out there and was the face of Papa John's to cover up that racist ass shit they did. So ain't nobody in Hollywood really gotta, you know, or in the corporate world gotta, you know, point the finger, or you was a butt buddy, or you was you kissed your ass to the top. You didn't work to the top. Like, bro, that's like a raccoon called another raccoon a raccoon. We all know when you in this corporate setting, you do things that you have to do certain things a certain way to get where you need to get to. And the people that master that, even more so than the knowledge, and I speak about this all the time, even more so, than the knowledge of it, it's about who you know and how they like you. And a lot of people know how to put the face on when they go into the corporate world, and I have to learn this. And then be yourself when you leave. You learn not to mix corporate with your personal life. And once you figure out that balance, you know, and don't mix, you know, who you work with your personal life. You keep that separate. Who you are inside the workplace may not necessarily be who you are outside of it. But once you find that balance, you'll be successful. You hear these women say, I got degrees, and these dudes say, I got degrees, but, you know, I'm not moving the way I should be moving up the professional ladder. A lot of times it got to be with the work. You got to do with work ethic, personality. They like you. A more likable person with less knowledge is going to excel faster and willing able to learn, going to learn faster, or going to move up faster the corporate ladder than the one that don't have a personality, the one that don't look inviting, that act mean, the one that don't make people laugh. Did you ever see the movie Yes Man? When he was a grumpy dude and said no to everything, just wanted to work and go home, he didn't get any advancement. But when he went to that what you call it, that seminar to say yes, and he started saying yes, and he started being fun, he started being open to other opportunities, his life got better and started climbing up the corporate ladder. It's a time to have tunnel vision and just stay in the shadows and grind. But also for men and women, it's a time where you have to get out there and be social. You can't just sit home eating Haagen-Dazs, or you just can't be in monk mode for 2 years too long. I just feel like you should go in monk mode for about 90 days, or 90 days to 4 months. 90 to 120 days at once. What Steve Harvey tell Nick Cannon character in Love Don't Cost a Thing? He said, you know, you get tired of it, you need some loving. All them Asian people, he said, over in Asia, and they working too hard, and they jumping off buildings because they ain't got no loving. Yeah. You got to get out there and expand yourself. So you got to understand, when another corporate person tell another corporate person, I know what you did to get there, well, we know what you all did to get here. In another aspect of moving up the corporate ladder, I might talk about this on the Patreon, so check it out, free game side. Another side of that is this, man, to be real, is also when you are married, and I spoke on this before, you're more likely to get to move up the corporate ladder and get promotions, because you have something, you know, to provide for, and they have something to control you by. But maybe I'll put that in my notes to talk about the Patreon one day in full. Right, but yeah, nonetheless, man, yeah, you know, so when he said that, I'm like, you know, when he got mad and he said, well, I'm better than you, and I'm top 10, you can't talk to me like that, and until you better than me, and it was Skip Bayless said, and you bet, like I said before, the dude is just big and sensitive. Have that energy towards Shannon Sharpe you have for Shawnee. When you take the high road, fuck it. That man had an opinion. You got probably would have called him, be like, hey, man, you know, I don't think that's what it is, or I don't like that. Like, you literally took away from Jokić moment by saying you didn't deserve that. And you got mad at Shannon Sharpe for saying, well, I think, you know, he mad because he said it before. I was the most dominant guy and he got one fucking MVP. And a lot of people say, that's true. Player for player, Shaq is better than Jokić. When we all go back in time and y'all had this silly debate about who to GOAT and who not to GOAT and all that, it's just an opinion debate. You can't put Wilt and Shaq and Michael and Bill and Larry and Irvin and Tim and Hakeem and Iverson all in the gym together. All in their prime. Charles, Carl, Isaiah, you can't put them all in the gym together in their prime. It's just who was the best of their era, who was the best of this year, who was best. I mean, it's all silly debates. Even in Mount Rushmore is a silly debate. Who knows? You put Clyde Drexler, you put Larry Bird one-on-one, and what if Clyde kill him? That's one-on-one. That's one aspect of it. You know, you talking about team, individual, it's a silly debate that can never be proven. Stats don't make you the GOAT. It ain't just about hardware. We can't put these dudes prime for prime in the ring together, on the court together. But I feel like, you know, like I said before, y'all be talking about this black togetherness and being on code. Most people ain't got a code. Because what a man gonna do is say, you look here, man, I ain't really like what you did behind the scenes. What a real man gonna do, you know, yeah, tell a person to his face, but I didn't like how you did that, man. Let that man have his moment, call him or meet him behind the scenes, invite him to lunch and say, yeah, I didn't really think you deserve that shit. Or even in a sit-down interview, you know, without, you know, him celebrating his MVP, like, come on, man, that's, to me, I ain't like that. And I just didn't really like the place and the timing, right? So, You know, he can get mad at Shannon, but the only reason he responded to Shannon like that because it was a lot of truth to it. Simple as that. It was a lot of truth to it. Well, I know what you did to get here. And black people, now, had a white person said that, would he would have said that? Probably not. He wouldn't have said it like that. That's why I be telling y'all, man. That's why I don't like really mess with people, bro. Cause a lot of the brothers and the sisters, they ain't going in the same direction. They'll talk about being on code and black togetherness and hotep shit and wearing dashikis and all that other shit. They'll talk about that. But the minute they get put on the spot, they revert back to niggism. They revert back to being ignorant. And all they morals and integrity and black standards and staying on code go out the window. But had the other said the same comment, they wouldn't have the same vitriol. They wouldn't have the same malice. They wouldn't. We attack each other like no other. This is why I say, man, I'm just, hey man, if you ain't, you know, if you on the same code, if we on the same, you know, trajectory, we on the same code, we already know it. You know, I'm gonna call you like, hey man, I ain't really fuck with what you said, bro. Was, you know, we communicate. Hey, was you talking about me? Or, you know, you be like, oh no, I wasn't, nah, man, and you know, it wasn't nothing like that. I was just talking about it in general. Or if you feel a certain type of way, or you know, nah, man, you know, I just really felt that SGA. It's just simple conversation that ain't. Come on, man. A lot of these niggas do shit for click, clout, like on YouTube. Oh, I exposed this guy, or they, you know, come on, man. I'm not responding to that, bro. A lot of these dudes, you know, when money get involved, when clout get involved, when a motherfucker feel like he got embarrassed or he got exposed, this is when all that black power shit and all this togetherness and staying on code go out the window. When somebody die or somebody gets slain in the streets or something happen to black people, then a lot of these people want to, you know, hug together. They want to, you know, tie they, you know, rags together like the Bloods and Crips did and say we united for a couple days and go right back to bullshit. These niggas too old to be operating like that, but everything is for clicks, for clout, all that stuff. And to be honest, Shannon Sharpe, if he talking about as far as, Shannon Sharpe's a Hall of Famer, but if he talking about as far as TV personalities, man, Shannon Sharpe is wiping the floor with Shaq. In the top 10, Shaq ain't even nowhere near on the trajectory as a TV personality, as a speaker, as a vibrant person, as a personality. He ain't nowhere near close to Shannon Sharpe. And he been doing it way longer than Shannon Sharpe. Really, he ain't better than Magic Johnson when Magic Johnson did it. He ain't on that level. Shannon Sharpe better than Charles Barkley. He better than Shannon. I mean, he better than Shaq. He better than Ernie. He better than Ken. He better than that whole fucking show. Let's keep it real. I ain't the biggest Shannon Sharpe fan, but his natural talent, come on, man. Like, I ain't fucking with him. If that's what you're talking about now, as far as athlete, come on, Shaq, one of the most, you know, he one of the most dominant guys. Would I say he the most dominant big man ever? It's either him or Wilt. Either him or Wilt. I don't mind it being two. But he hated on Dwight. You know, he have a lot of hate for his brothers and sisters, dog, when it comes to his contemporaries of athletes. Just think about that for a minute. So, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button is the bell icon button. And I spoke on Shaq before on Papa John's and all that, man. I just spoke on some shit I ain't like Shannon said. It come from a place of love. But you can check it out. Just put my channel name in, put Shannon Sharpe in there, put a Shaq in there. You'll find it. But hit the link tree. I titled very well. I tried to. Hit the link tree. Go check out the Patreon. Appreciate that. Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Kick, Twitch, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Hit the subscribe button, bell icon button, increase your chance to get notifications. Appreciate y'all. Best way y'all can do is subscribe and share the channel. Peace.